All right. Welcome, everyone. Good morning. All right. So we're going to start today with practicing from cross hands up until single whip, and then we're going to work on the new movement today. All right. So I'm going to turn and face the other direction so that we all move in the same way, and we'll get started. So feet shoulders width apart, sinking down into our legs, cross hands, making an X with the arms, right hand on the outside. Shifting the weight to your right, embrace tiger, return to the mountain, turn on your left heel. Separate the arms. We're going to circle like brush knee and step out. It's a different meaning, big right arm, and then pushing with the left palm. Roll back. Bicycle the arms. Bring that right arm out in front. Connect and then turn. Left palm touches the right forearm for press. Good morning. Flatten both arms. Come back over a ball, and then we sit up the palms and push. Fist under elbow. Flatten both arms. Turn from your waist. Big circle with the arms. Fingers point together and then push out to the side. Step to the corner, warding off. Connect, show turn and grab as you step. Pull down. Make a fist, lift and punch, fist under elbow. Repulse monkey. Open up that fist, swing that arm back. Bring the hand to the shoulder, and then pulling in left hand to the hip, right hand out. Number 2, rotating both arms, natural step back, and then turn on your left heel. Being aware of your space, turning last repulse monkey, step and pulling in. Diagonal flying. I'm going to do the alternate footwork. Big circle with the arms, stepping back, turning on your left heel, step out to the corner, and then big arm movements, diagonal flying. Raise hands, open up the arms, step back. Right hand's higher than the left. Touch with the right heel and turn from your waist like a clap and miss with the hands. White crane. Both arms go down. Left arm comes on top and step. Right arm on the outside, touching with the ball of the left foot. Look at your right hand for brush knee. Left arm comes up, and then they switch. Brush off that table, right hand to the shoulder, go straight out. Getting close, needle at the C bottom, reach out and step in. Pull back, lift up those left toes, and then touch with the ball of the foot and fold from the hips. Fan through the back, left hand touches the right wrist. Touch for bow stance and pulling in, right hand by your temple. Turn body chop with fist, turning. Protect your head with the left arm, press down with the right. Make a fist. We're going to chop and then palm. Okay, parry, block, and punch. Connecting out, circle down, parry out to the side, left arm and leg together, and then punch. Almost there. Connecting for grasp the bird's tail. Open up that fist, bring the right arm underneath for ward off right. Hinging that right arm up. Roll back, rotate both arms to the corner. Shift your weight back, turn from your waist. Press left palm to right forearm. Expand up and out. Flatten both arms. Bring the palms back and sit them up, and then push to shoulder height, shoulder width apart. Single whip, flatten the arms. Turn from your waist, big circle. Pushing down, relax that left foot. Make a hook with the right hand. Turn over that left arm, standing ward off, and a palm. Last movement, wave hands, shift your weight to the right. Turn on your left heel, arms go to the right side. Let your hook hand open as it drops down. 2 circles with the arms, stepping shoulder width, turning from the waist, and then double wide, big turning corner to corner, shoulder width, arms go to the side direction, and then on the last one, we're stepping double wide, and then shoulder width, but to the corner direction to go back to single width. Very nice. How do we do? Yes? All right. You guys are doing great, okay? So today is going to be the last movement before our little bit of balance work in the form, all right? So let's talk about this movement first. So just watching, this one's gonna be a little bit easier so we can get a lot of practice in today, all right? So we started single whip, just watch one time. I'm gonna actually do it from a different direction as well. So high pat on horse. We're gonna shift our weight back and open up our hook. We're gonna bring that hand into the shoulder, change to the ball of the foot, and show high pat on horse, okay? So I'm gonna do it facing the camera. Remember, we're gonna break this down, okay? So from single whip, we're gonna shift back, hand to the shoulder, touch, and then pulling in. All right, so footwork is not too hard, all right? So we're gonna start on that footwork first, okay? So the footwork, we're going from a bow stance to an empty stance. So let's make a really nice bow stance. First thing we do is we have that right foot to the corner direction, so 45 degrees. Sink to wherever is comfortable in that leg and step straight out with that left leg for a bow stance. Remember, with single whip, our torso is vertical. We're not leaning into it. So really sit up nice and tall. Check in with that left knee. Is it in line with the foot direction? Now, as you shift your weight back to that right leg, we want to keep our torso open. So we don't want to square up. Keep that torso towards the corner. Lift up your toes. And then we're going to step in and change to the ball of the foot and turn our waist to square. Nice, okay? Remember here, not too much moving forward, okay? How we get 30% of the weight into that left leg is by folding from the hips to lean into it. Nice. All right, so let's do it again. Remember, we're going from, I'm gonna show you this direction, from shoulder width apart. So we have 2 lines between our feet. And when we step in, we're going to have 1 line. So we don't want to cross. We want to end up with the 1 line, if I stand on the black, between the feet, okay, like this, versus 2 lines with a bow stance. Okay, this is the big difference in our footwork, okay? So let's do it a couple of times. Sinking into that right leg, nice, beautiful bow stance, torso's vertical, and open towards that corner. Check in with your left knee. Knees over the ankle, and it's not turned in. It's in line with that foot direction. Remember to push out nice and tall, lift through that crown of the head. All right, shifting your weight back. All the weights in your right leg, your left toes start lifting up. Perfect. Not here. Sink, still, okay? Heel over your hip. There we go. Beautiful. Pick up. Now touch with the ball of the foot a little bit closer in. Turn from your waist and lean into it a little bit. Beautiful. That's not too bad, right? That's like easy footwork, all right? Yes. That's why I wanted to give you something good today, all right? So Any questions on the footwork? We've nailed that, right? That's super easy. Okay. So, all right, remember, we have our beautiful hook hand, okay? This hook hand, I'm going to show you one time, just the arms, okay? We're going to open up that hook and sit up the palm. Then we're going to bring it into the shoulder as our left palm turns up. And then we're going to pull in to this palm, okay? Don't worry, we're going to break this down now, okay? One arm at a time. Okay, so that hook hand, that right hand, the first thing you're going to do, I'm turning this direction so you can see, is you're going to open up the hook and you're going to sit up that palm. So it's not going to be seated like entirely like this, okay? It's not going to be flat. We just want a little bit, okay? So from that hook, sit that palm down. Now use your elbow. Bend the arm into your shoulder. Perfect. Now it's going to go out in front at throat level. So we're thinking about using this edge of our palm. Yes, okay? All right, let's do it again. All right, from hook. Remember, our hook is chin level here, so it's a little bit higher. We're gonna sit that palm, relax the arm. Now really use the elbow to bend in, and then it's gonna go straight out in front. Nice. Yes, and remember it's turned, so we're not gonna sit it up this way, it's gonna be turned to the side. Good, let's do it again. All right, the one major thing to watch out for after we sit up the palm, really make sure it's sitting, really use the elbow, okay? We don't wanna swing, okay? Really just bend at the elbow, perfect, and now it's gonna go straight out. Perfect. So I'm gonna turn to the normal direction, okay? Now let's talk about if we add the waist, okay? We're open to the corner, we have our hook hand. We're just doing the hook. Now you can't really see it, right? So we have our hook, we're gonna sit up that palm. We're gonna bend the arm into the shoulder, yes, and now turn from your waist and bring that arm out front. Yes. So the hand is turned, the focus is on using the edge of the palm to the throat, okay? And where torso is straight. Now I know how many people are here for martial arts, right? Oh, we got raised hands. All right. I know most of you aren't, but knowing the meaning helps us with where our body should be. Okay, so this end posture should be in line with your throat. That's our marker, okay? Now let's do it again, just the hook hand. So turning, torso open, hook. Relax that arm, seat that palm. Bend at the elbow, hands to the shoulder. Perfect. Now turn your waist to straight and shoot that arm out. Yes, beautiful. Pretty easy, right? All right, I know, I love the nods today. This is a good one, I really like this movement, okay? So that left arm, we're sitting up, right? We're in single whip. So what's gonna happen now with that left arm? We're gonna turn that palm so it faces the sky. Then that hand's gonna pull back to your ribs, okay? So this palm is doing a grab, and then it's pulling back. Now, as we pull back, we don't wanna pull back like this, okay? When we end, we wanna have our arm shooting towards the corner, okay? So feel the difference, if I face you, of having your elbow straight back like this versus having your elbow pointing out to the side. This feels a little bit more relaxed, right? Like we're not pulling on anything. This is what we want our end posture to be, okay? So the right hand will be at throat level, and that left hand is going to be at your ribs with that elbow pointing to the corner direction, okay? So let's just do the left arm again. So from here, we're gonna rotate, that torso still open. And then as we square off the torso, we're gonna bring that arm to the ribs. Now that one's super easy, right? Let's put it together, okay? So what's the timing? Left palm, right hand's in a hook. You're gonna start turning that left palm and you're gonna sit your right hand. You're gonna finish turning your left palm as the right hand comes to the shoulder. So everyone check, we should be here. Right hand at the shoulder, left palm, beautiful. Avoid this, let your shoulders hang down, shoulders and elbows relax. There we go, beautiful. Okay, now from here, our torso's turned. Turn your torso to straight and we're pulling and pushing out. Final posture, left hand by the ribs, elbow pointing to the corner, not back, and right hand is throat level. Looks good. Yes, this one's a little bit harder on our shoulders, okay? So I really want you to relax the arms in between, okay? Shake them out, maybe do some swings, okay? Open them up, because we really want to have our shoulders hanging down. The moment they come up, the energy is going to get stuck in our chest. Let's try to let them hang down, okay? So from single whip, left palm, right hand's in a hook. Turning over that left palm, relaxing the right hand, sitting it. Then bring it into the shoulder, left hands to the sky. Perfect. Now use your torso turning to help with the arms. Beautiful. Yes, remember here, not too much flat with the palm, sitting a little bit, okay? So it's like versus being here versus here, okay? Yes, okay? So the energy point is this, okay? We talk a lot about when we're using a palm, it's this portion right here, right? Now we're using the side, okay? All right, feeling good about this? All right, let's try and put it together with the footwork, okay? So today we'll get to practice this a lot. We'll also add in wave hands like clouds just because that's such a great movement, okay? So from single whip, sink into that right leg. Nice, stepping out, beautiful bow stance. So important that it's natural so that we can shift back and pick up, all right? Right hand's in the hook, left palm. Okay, first thing, we're gonna start shifting our weight back and open up that hook. We're gonna keep shifting our weight and we have our toes to the sky. Now our left hand is in front and the right hand is by the shoulder. Perfect. Now you're gonna change to the ball of the foot. There's not a lot of weight there yet because our waist is still turned. Now we're gonna pour 30% and turn from our waist. Yes, okay, so coming back to here, feel that weight exchange. So there's barely touching, and then we're turning into it. Yes, one more time, that looks great. So turning to the side, touching with the toes. Now turn just straight and lean into it. Yes, so checking, throat height, sitting up that palm. Where's that left elbow? Relaxing the upper body and that chest. Nice. Okay, shake out the legs. All right, it's going to be a lot with that right leg today, okay? So always taking a second in between. Let's do it again. All right, so this is single whip to what we call high pat on horse. All right, so sinking into that right leg, stepping out nice and long. Should say nice and natural. Can you pick up? If it's difficult, take a little bit smaller stance. Left palm strike, right hand at the hook. Check here, 135 degrees from the arm. So the left arm follows the left foot direction and check in on that hook hand. It's not too far, it's to the corner. Shift your weight back, open up that hook. Bring the right hand to the shoulder, left palm to the sky. Check your torso here. The thing I'll see the most is we're already turned. We really want to keep that torso open. Change to the ball of the left foot, and then pour 30% of the weight in for high pat on horse. Nice arms. Now drop the arms, don't change the legs. Check your footwork. How do we do? Are we crossed or do we have that one line with our feet on two sides? Yes? Yes. All right. That's really important, okay? There's a big difference in our balance from being with the one line to being crossed. So if you ever feel wobbly, check in on your footwork, okay? Now let's check in on our footwork as we do the transition, okay? So from single whip, sinking down and stepping out naturally. Beautiful arms. All right. As you shift your weight back, feel that weight in your right foot. Right hand to the shoulder. Now I want you to check in with your right leg. Is the knee in line with the toe direction here? Okay, so the weight should be centered on your foot. This is very important. So when we pick up, keep that knee in line, touch with the ball, keep that knee in line as you turn from the waist. High pat on horse. Did it feel different when we had to check in with our right leg? Right, this is very important. Remember, we're here to heal our bodies, right? So we want to get the most out of our balance through moving slowly and using as many muscles as possible in our legs. But we want to heal our joints by always making sure we're relaxing our upper body and we're keeping our lower body in line. All right. Does anyone have any questions? All right, grab a drink of water and we're going to do wave hands like clouds from single whip to single whip and then into high pat on horse. Because how many times can we do our new movement, right? And it feels great. And then we add something on and it changes everything. All right. So let's start. You got to move back in your space because we're going to go across the room a little bit. Starting where? Same place, single whip. So sinking into that right leg, step out with the left. Beautiful hook hand and the left palm. Nice. Okay. So wave hands like clouds. Shift your weight to the right. Use your waist turning, turn on your left heel and check. Hook hand is to the straight direction, left palm is to the corner. Now drop that hook down, turn from your waist, arms are to your left side when you step in. Weights in the center, arms are in the center, and we turn to the side and step out. Turning from your waist leads the arms. So our waist is going from corner to corner and the arms are to the side. Last one, stepping out, turning. Now step shoulder width, but to the corner. Normal wave hands right until the end where we make a hook. Then we're going to do a standing ward off with our bow stance and a palm strike. High pat on horse. Open up that hook, turning the left palm, right hand to the shoulder. Touch with the ball of the foot, waist is still turned. And now close that waist, turn it to straight as you pull into the side palm strike. Nice, good end postures. Let's do it again. Okay, be careful. Remember, the hardest thing to remember here is when we're here, we don't want to do this, okay? We just want to pour enough in. And that pouring comes from having our weight really in that right leg and just turning and folding, leaning into it, okay? So if I do it facing you, okay? So turning. So that turning pours the weight from the right to the left instead of this, okay? This is going to be the hardest habit to break if you start it. So let's do it right now. From here, left palm up, right hand in front of your shoulder, touch with that ball of the foot, torso open, and turn. Keep that weight in that right leg, 70% in that right leg. Feel the burn. Okay, now come back. Just the arms, turn the torso, weights in the right leg. Now I want you to go into a bow stance. How different does that feel? Right? Okay? Touch with the ball of the foot. Turn from your waist. Keep that weight in the back. Okay? So 70% here, 30% in the front. Left palm to the sky, right hand to the shoulder. Turn that torso open. Feel the burn. Barely touch with those toes. Now pour 30% in. There it is. Yes. Okay? That is so important in this movement. All right? Ready to do it again? All right. Single whip, wave hands like clouds to single whip, then high pat on horse. All right, so beautiful starting bow stance. Remember, torso's vertical. Keep those knees in line with the foot direction. Left palm, right hand's in a hook. Okay, wave hands like clouds. Shift your weight to the right. Turn on your left heel. Now just let the arms flow. Drop that right arm down and step in. Turning and step out. So we have 3 repetitions, stepping in. And that last one, we'll step to the corner direction for single whip, making that hook. Beautiful bow stance. And then shift all that weight to the right, right hand to the shoulder. Touch with the ball of the foot. Keep that weight in the back leg, just turning the torso to straight. High pat on horse. Nice. Beautiful. Okay. Any questions? Okay. Yes? Yes.
In the high pat on horse, are you thrusting off your heel at all, or are you just picking it up and moving?
I'm going to turn and face you, okay? So whenever we do any sort of movement forward or back, we're going to push that weight to the back leg, and we're going to lift our toes. So it's a pushing, it's always push and support between both legs, okay? So it's not just a move. We're actually pushing that weight to the back and receiving it in the right leg. We're lifting up those toes and then just change, bring it closer in, and then pouring it in. So it's not like I wouldn't call it a thrusting, but it's a push and support. Okay, it's that difference of just moving back or pushing, right? So using those muscles, which is going to feel different for everyone, but that's such a great question, because this is one of the times where we see where we could just be like, okay, I just moved. I did it, right? I did the exact footwork, right? I just moved and I did it. Or pushing, changing, pouring in. Okay? And this is something each person, yes, great question. Each person has to play around with. Yes.
When we pour into that front left foot, are we staying on our toe on that foot, or is our heel coming down?
The heel is not coming down. It's going to be the whole ball of your foot.
Okay.
So it's not just going to be the toes, okay? It's going to be the whole ball of the foot. Now the foot looks like it's touching the ground because first of all, my shoes are not tightened very much. They're kind of loose so that the shoe will hang off, and the heel is not as close to the shoe. It's not touching the shoe, okay? But it's not touching, okay? So the difference is when we're touching with the ball of the foot, we have more bend in the leg, okay? If we're touching with the whole foot, it's going to be more straight. And when you're touching with the heel, it's the straightest, okay? So it's not just the toes, whole ball of the foot is touching with that nice knee bend. Great question. Yeah, that's really important in this bow stance, okay? So you want to think it's not just the toes that are touching, It's that whole ball of your foot. All right, 2 great questions. Let's put those into practice, okay? So really using those muscles as we push and support through our legs and really touching with that whole ball of our foot. So from single whip, we're just gonna do high pat on horse. Beautiful stance, hook hand and a palm, okay? So nicely even vertical torso, 60% in the front, 40% of the weight in the back. Okay, open up that hook hand as you shift your weight back. Bend the elbow in as you lift your toes, all the weight's in the right leg. We're gonna step in and touch with the toes, touch with the whole ball of the foot as you pour 30% in. Okay, yes, that made a difference for everyone. Okay, let's do it again. So just stepping a little bit wider. All right, really thinking about that push and support between our legs. So we're not just moving, right? We are moving, but we want to use intention. Okay, so we really want to use what it would feel like essentially if we were moving something heavy. We wouldn't just be moving, which is great exercise. We want to use all those muscles. We want to push back and receive that weight. And then when we pick up and change, we're going to push that little bit into that ball of the foot. There we go. Okay, bow stance, single whip. Let's do it again. From here. So pushing back, receiving that weight in the right leg, and touch with the ball of the foot. Now pour 30% in as you turn from your waist. Yes. Okay, one more time. Everyone looks so great. Really great job. All right. Shoulders width, bow stance, single whip. Okay. Open up that hook, pushing back, touch with the ball of the left foot, 30% as we pour that weight in. Yes, yes, yes. Looks good. Another question?
Just saying that 30% really helps a lot. You really know what you're doing then.
Yeah, it makes a big difference from nothing to something, but not too much, right? So that's the fine line. All right. So we talked a little bit about the meaning, okay? But the meaning really is grabbing someone's arm and pulling into this side of the palm to the throat area, the nice soft area right here, okay? So really pulling in, and that's why it doesn't take very much to get that movement, right? And the big difference is from being here and just doing this, right? Versus starting here and turning into it. Okay, so it's really that whole body connection of pouring that weight 30% in, turning from our waist, and then shooting out the arms, right? So full body connection. All right, yes.
You know what this really is about for me anyway, is feeling my personal power.
Oh, absolutely. Tai Chi can really empower us. That's the cool thing. And I don't think that necessarily most people come here for that, right? It's not something that we think about in terms of Tai Chi. Yeah, but it's something we gain. And it's through that little bit of a martial art aspect of it because, you know, we have Tai Chi as an energy practice, as breath work, as Qigong, right? As a balance exercise. But then there's that empowering aspect of now I know my body, I know my personal space, I know these new meanings of martial arts movements, which is so exciting. I'm so excited for your journey. This is amazing. All right, let's do it again. And then I want to include a couple of balance exercises for everyone to practice this week, okay? So that for next week, we feel a little bit more ready for our practice, all right? So from single whip, beautiful bow stance, all right? Nice arms. First, shifting back, open up that hook, bring and pulling in and turning from your waist. Yes. Oh, that was beautiful. Those that had your cameras on, you all moved at the same rate. It was incredible. All right. So next week, we're going to start working on some of our balancing, okay? Or I should say our next level of balancing, all right? So if you have a chair or a piece of furniture that you want to get close to for a moment, all right, we're going to talk about some things that we can do to improve our balance so that we feel a little bit better, okay? Now, I'm not going to hold on to something. I really encourage you to do so, all right? So the first thing we're going to do is whichever side that piece of furniture is on, we're going to open up that foot. So if I'm mirroring you, this would be the right side. I have my right foot open to the corner direction, okay? So first and foremost, we're going to get and we're going to sink into our legs. We're going to get a little bit comfortable in that leg, okay? Balance is not just about just standing, okay? There's a lot of different things. First and foremost is our breath, okay? Are you breathing? If you're not breathing and you're holding your breath, that's going to be a big thing right away. The next is picking a point dead ahead of you, okay? So pick something that you can stare at that's unmoving. Maybe it's the top of your screen. Maybe it's just a piece of art, something that's ahead of you for you to look at. What we're going to do is we're going to go from sinking into our leg. We're going to stand up and lift up nice and tall, okay? Now, if we're wobbling, I want you to sit back down, okay? Now, when we do this, we're going to keep our torso open. So again, we're not going to be closed and twisting our leg. We're going to keep our hips and our torso and everything in line with our foot direction. And we're going to inhale and we're going to stand up and drop our left toes. Nice. And then sink back down. Okay. So inhale, standing up. Exhale, sink down. Okay. This is going to build a lot of leg strength. Okay. If you want to take it to the next level, we would inhale and stand up. Exhale and just do a little toe kick. Bend the knee and sink down. Okay. I'm going to show you from another direction. Okay. So from here, I'm going to show you a different variation. We're going to stand up, kick, and touch. Okay. Does it have to be this inhale, stand up, big kick? No. Okay. Inhale, stand up, kick, and touch. Okay. This is going to build a lot of strength. Okay. The next thing we're going to talk about is arms next week. But for right now, if you can just inhale and stand up and exhale and sink down, this is going to build so much strength. Okay, let's do the other side for a few breaths, okay? So turning, say left foot open, 45 degrees. Again, torso grabbing onto something if you need. Always safety first, okay? Especially when doing training exercises, all right? Touch with your right toes. Get comfortable sitting in that leg. Remember, not crossed, just like an empty stance. We're just touching for a moment. Knees in line, hips are in line, torso's turned, right? Standing up, toes point down, and then release. Okay, so I just want to talk about a little bit of alignment thing. You can try to stay with me or just take a moment, okay? When we're standing up, our foot's going to tuck in, no matter the level that you lift your leg, okay? That foot's going to tuck into the side, allowing our hips to remain level instead of tilting the hips and trying to keep that leg straight, okay? Try to level out your hips, all right? This is super important for our balance, along with that torso turning, okay? So you're seeing I'm adjusting a lot because I want to show you what not to do and what to do, but essentially torso is going to be turned, and we're going to lift that leg up and point those toes down, and then sink back down, okay? So we're getting used to that inhale, standing up. So we're breathing, exhale, release. The next stage will be inhale, standing up, exhale, here, taking another inhale and then releasing. Okay, so we're just going to extend that length of time that we can stand up. Okay, now standing up again comes from lifting through the crown of your head. So we have like a string pulling us, staring at something dead ahead of you and breathing. Okay, it also is that torso alignment. So if you're trying to stand like this, I can barely do it because it's so hard. Okay, we want to make sure that we're turning, that our torso is following our foot direction, and then we're lifting up. Okay, now one more thing to note, I'm turning so that you can see my standing leg. Okay, I'm going from sinking and I'm going to standing. Standing is not locking out. If you are locking out your leg, it is going to cause a lot of balance issues. Okay, so this is straight but not straight, bent but not bent. So if we're trying to stand and it's too bendy, it's going to be hard. If we try to lock out our leg, it's going to be even harder. Okay, standing up, use those muscles, sink down and give them a break. Okay, this is going to be your goal for this week, is to play around with that weight in one leg and then the other. Okay, yes, 5 minutes a day. You got it, 5 minutes a day. All right, if you did 5 minutes of this balance exercise, going back and forth between legs, and just inhale, standing up, exhale, sink, I think you would be shocked at how your legs feel. We just did 3 minutes of it. Are you feeling it in your legs after class already? Right? It's a lot, not too much yet, right? But once we start building up a practice, we're going to get it. Yes. What's your question?
When we come back down, we bring our foot back down, do we pour any weight into that front foot?
Not for this exercise. Okay. For this one, we're gonna come up, and then we're just gonna, you can pour a little bit, say maybe 20%. Okay. 10%, just enough to connect, to get your balance, but not like nothing. Okay, give yourself that little bit of a break, but don't pour too much in, just enough so then you can transition to standing up. Okay, and then come back down. Yes.
Yes, I find that holding my arms like I'm wrapping around a tree, only not in front, but on my side, helps me to keep equal balance.
Oh, let's do it. That's a great tip. Okay, this was the next thing. Okay, so that hug a tree. All right, so for those that are new, we're just taking our arms like we're hugging them around the biggest tree. Okay, so we have some space between our fingers, elbows point down. This is beautiful. This also shows our torso direction. Okay, so if we have that right foot to the corner, okay, I'm mirroring you. We sink down. We just have like say 20, 10, 20%. Inhale, standing up. Toes point down, tuck that foot in, and then release. Give yourself that break for a second, and then standing up. You can always take longer, right? You can always take that little bit longer, take that reset, and then stand up. Okay, this is a really good thing too. The arms, that's such a good point, because look, if your arms are straight, this is where it gets really difficult to try to lift up that leg, okay? But if we're turned, everything's turned, and then we can stand up a little bit easier, right? I love it. See? Your daily practice is coming through in your comments. I love it. So let's do the other side. So left foot's open. I'm mirroring you, of course. Arms are up in that hug a tree. Again, sinking down, we're touching with those right toes. Inhale, standing up. Exhale, sink down. So again, we don't have to lift that leg very far, right? Torso's open, everything's in line. Inhale, standing up. Exhale, touch. It does not have to come off the ground all the way. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Okay? Eventually, if we can get to level with that leg, that's beautiful. If you get above, you're exceeding expectations, beyond, okay? But being comfortable is what's most important. Yes.
If I don't hold my arms straight out around a tree, hugging the tree, is it okay to hold them bowed on my side?
Oh yeah,
No.
whatever. Hold them on your side if you want to connect with the hips. Okay, if you want to hold them down, if you want to hold them out like this is great too. Okay. The only thing, if your arms are out, I want you to get used to having one in line with your leg direction and then the other one 135 degrees off, like single whip. Okay, so this should feel like single whip arms, but we're not high and low. Okay, they're even. But you could have the arms out like this and then stand up and then sink down. Okay, I just don't want you to do this with the torso straight. Okay, so we want the arms to follow the torso direction. Okay, that's the big thing here. So this is another great variation, and it would be the same thing on this side. Arms follow the torso direction, standing up and then sinking down. We want to do whatever variation works for us. Okay, what's going to happen, just to show you. Okay, so we're going to stand up with our arms crossed. Okay, and this one kind of, it goes to that corner. So we're going to stand up with the arms crossed, look to our kicking direction, kick, and bend the knee. Okay, so what does that look like if we're doing it a little bit smaller? Standing up, kick, bend the knee. Okay, that's what it's going to move to. Okay, that's why we want to get to working on our balance so that we feel comfortable just standing up and then sinking down. Okay, because the next level is standing up, do a little kick, and then sink down. Okay, so this is what we're going to be working on. So that's why I know I got to take you to the next level, right? I want to show you what's going to be next. But that's why for this week, I want you to just work on that balance of standing up. Okay, now are we going to do kick after kick after kick? Absolutely not. We're going to do one kick. Okay, but doing that balance exercise of standing up again and again is going to build new strength. Now, as we do this, I want you to be really aware when you sink down, keep that knee in line. Okay, when you stand up, keep that knee in line. Okay, so we're not letting it twist in, we're sinking and keeping it in line. All right, okay, so your mission, 5 minutes a day. All right. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. Such a pleasure having you in class. Oh, have a great weekend.